Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Summit 3 China. We've got our second day of Phase 2 here, the second part of the opening round. Two best of threes tonight. First up, we've got HGT versus Newbee. After that, it'll be IG versus Vici Gaming Potential. I keep wanting to call him Virtus Pro Polar, but it's Vici Gaming Potential, and we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm Zyori. I'm solo casting tonight, so you've got the rare pleasure or, well, rare painful evening ahead of you here as I'm flying solo. LD and Gods are out doing some stuff for Red Bull to get prepped tonight. I've got Cinderin lined up for tomorrow, but tonight it's all me, baby. So let's go ahead and hop into game number 1 here, see what these teams are working on, and we're just going to take it from there. So going to have some fun tonight, folks. Always a pleasure to solo cast here and there every so often. This is not elimination tonight. Every single team today will have the opportunity to fight their way through the lower bracket should they be knocked down. Now, whether it annoys you or you find it good old-fashioned fun, we're going to be talking about Vulcan tonight as well. I'm going to be chatting about my draft a little bit. I do have a little bit of money on the line tonight, so we're going to talk about that in between games. These two series were available for betting, though I think it just closed. So if you missed the bus on that, sorry. There will be more open in the very, very near future, so you can head over to Vulcan and get your fantasy drafts all put together. Now, what do we have here? HGT, they had first pick this go-round. They take the sniper. Oh, man, these dirty sniper pickers starting things off. Troll Warlord banned out alongside the Wisp by Newbee, Bat Rider, and Queen of Pain, the two first bans here from HGT. All these heroes making a lot of sense. Friendly faces we've certainly seen a lot of over the past weeks. Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Fiend, the opener for our dire side here. Newbee going for a little bit of that Roshan control minus armor. That's what we're talking about. Can never really go wrong with a Venge Shadow Fiend. That Earthshaker has been banned out by Newbee, but he's that mid lane support that we've talked about oh so much over the past few weeks as well. What he can do in the mid lane to peel for a hero like Shadow Fiend, a hero like Sniper, who's otherwise pretty susceptible to gank. So Newbee, they've got their defensive support. They're trying to block out HGT from getting there. HGT opt to ban out the Skywrath Mage, another good roaming, zoning support that you can pair with the Vengeful Spirit. However, Newbee, they open up with an Ancient Apparition here for their third pick. Interesting choice. We don't see all Frosty too often. No real obvious reason to grab him here. Good synergy with the Vengeful Spirit. In lane, you can proc the little Cold Feet. It does give you some scouting potential also with those Ice Vortexes, so Venge can potentially swap it out. Great scouting tools just in general on the star side. You've got that Wave of Terror there also, which you can use to scout it on out. So HGT, they think about it for a while, and honestly surprised to see that they pick Witch Doctor into the Ancient Apparition. Usually you'll see AA picked as kind of a counteraction to these healing type lineups. You can grab a Witch Doctor +1, maybe plus a Jug, and then you've got all these little healing wards moving around. It's pretty good stuff, and you can actually put out a lot of pushing power if you can grab some early Arcane Boots. And, well, AA, pretty damn good with that. But now Newbee, their draft's starting to come together. Makes some sense. Is the Faceless Void. Look at him. He's showing off those pearly whites. He's ready to fight, and he's ready to farm. Could be the off-laner for Newbee. Could be their safe laner. Still left a little ambiguous. But, boys, this team coming together. Now you've got that Ice Blast. If it connects from afar, you'll follow up with a Chronosphere. And, hey, maybe there's a Shadow Fiend nearby. Maybe he's got a Requiem. Maybe he's just hanging out. Not a bad little draft for Newbee here. Plenty of control and plenty of kill potential as well. Now, HGT, they start to get a little more greedy here. Storm Spirit, their third pickup. So that's probably your air hero, I think. With ZSMJ on the Sniper. There is a stand-in for HGT today. One Westbrook. And that name sounds vaguely familiar to me, but I can't quite place it. Westbrook. I see people cheering for Westbrook in chat. It's really just one guy saying his name over and over. But still, that's cool. Westbrook has some fans out there. Okay, get into that.
10 seconds remaining.
I could definitely get into that. All
5
right.
seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So what do we have going on here for final ban? Silencer. 5th ban for Newbee. And HGT will think about it. Silencer could have been an interesting second support for the Hyper Glory team. Not one that I would have considered perhaps, but a great way to stop the Void from hopping in, getting the initiation he's looking for, so I can certainly understand it. Newbee, what will they need with their final pick? Another core, and this is a tricky one. Need to decide whether you want to ban out the off lane or the safe lane, depending on where HGT think the Faceless Void may end up. I'm more inclined to say Void will be headed to the off lane. I feel like that position 1 Void has just fallen off a little bit. And Newbee could opt to take something here that does synergize quite nicely with the Void. You could do something like the safe lane morph lane, not that strength morph lane that we've seen in North America. I'm talking about a good old-fashioned carry, agility morph lane. You know, 100% shotgun style. We're going for the kills kind of a morpher. They will take out the Dro Ranger. And I think that makes some sense. Any kind of ranged carry here could work really well for Newbee. Something like Gyrocopter could definitely be in the cards. Let's take a look at what they've been playing recently in terms of carries. Queen of Pain, Juggernaut. They have been playing a fair bit of what looks like carry morphling with 300+ last hits. Axe, always a possibility, but not too much synergy with the Chrono. You've got Viper. He's got some synergy there. TA, another one. Wow, they're 1-5 with TA this patch. Maybe not something they want to play, but an option. Ember Spirit, again, not the most synergy with the Chrono, but something they could look at. Invoker, also something that they could play. And it is the Juggernaut. So they take the Juggy. He's pretty high on their most played heroes. And the Treant Protector for HGT. All right. Now, we've been seeing the Tree paired a lot with the Phoenix. That's been that duo that's kind of the talk of the town. He gets in the egg, and then Kaka comes in, hits him with the Overgrowth, and they can't attack. It's a great harmonious duo, and it's good. It's cute. But here, no Phoenix. We've even seen in some areas team is first picking the Phoenix. Cloud9 and is one such team that comes to mind that they're not afraid to grab that Phoenix nice and early. We'll see. We'll probably see some more Phoenix play at some point today, I reckon. All right, game number 1. Now officially underway here. This is HGT. The Hearts get together. That's their old name. Now they're the Hyper Glory team. They'll be on the Radiant side. The underdogs in our opening series here. Newbee, they've been a little bit hit or miss, a little bit lukewarm. Last I checked the bets, it was surprisingly even. Oh, Rabbit, he walks into the danger zone. He pops up to the high ground. They see him. It's a 1v4, but nobody wants to tango with the Jug this early on. Looks like Newbee will invade just a little bit here. Only 4 heroes of HGT to block it. Ward has already come down to block the pole camp. It is an observer to give some vision into that passageway for Team Newbee. But no blood will be shed. They will just back on out, but not before getting another observer down. They'll block out this hard camp in the middle of the jungle here. You may be thinking, well, there's not an obvious jungler. What are they blocking out? This one's for lane control, of course. And this one up here just limits what HGT can do in the jungle. This is one of those camps you'll want to stack up for the Storm Spirit, so they'll have something to retreat to. They'll still have this big camp to work with. That old leafy tree can stack up. And also have this little guy. Stinky Mud Golems may spawn, but nothing that the Storm Spirit can't work around. So all right, let's introduce some rosters here. We got Westbrook, the stand-in for HGT. He's on the clockwork here, headed to the off lane. Kaka, he's on the Treant Protector. Mid lane, it will be Air. He'll be playing on the Sniper this go-around. That puts Pretty Haw on the Witch Doctor and ZSMJ, the man himself, the big boy, the captain, the shot caller. This is Storm Spirit. He'll be here in the safe lane. Now on the Dire side, the slight favorites perhaps, Team Newbee. June, he'll be in the off lane playing on the Faceless Void. Moo, he's headed mid here on the Shadow Friend. He'll have his work cut out for him as Air already raining down the shrapnel. Vengeful Spirit will be lingering nearby. That'll be the Banana. And in the safe lane, they'll have a dual lane. Song Shung here on the Ancient Apparition, already trying to zone out Westbrook best he can, using that chill and touch, lobbing those snowballs already. And he will be joining Rabbit, the Juggernaut, who's already off to a pretty good start here and should find pretty close to free farm. Clockwork, hard to zone out, but not really too much Westbrook's going to be able to do to stop Rabbit from finding all those yummy last hits, as Ancient Apparition will continue to be a thorn in his side. All right, so both sides. What do we have here with off-laners? Faceless Void both versus Clockwork. Both of them pretty hard to zone out as far as off-laners go. Clockwork has that slight advantage of being able to use those power kongs to mess up the creep equilibrium. You'll have a ward down here to see if the pole camp is utilized, give some intel into the river where Banana and Kaka will start duking it out a little bit. The tree, not one you want to square up against early on. He does go Leech Seed level 1 here. Boots first, the potential first blood play. Banana, he's going to be on the run. Does have Magic Missile leveled up, but level 1 missile doesn't stun or hurt nearly as much as the later levels do. Kaka not going to find the Leech Seed kill attempt here, and Banana will walk away. But a little bit of a close call. If another support had some way to rotate over, would have been a sticky wicket. Now Moo, he's going to be in some trouble here. The tree gets off the Leech Seed. Air doesn't have another shrapnel, but first blood goes the way of Moo. Oh, could it be a double? And it is. Oh, my mama me. Moo cleaning it up in the mid lane with a double kill to get things started. Talk about your all-time backfires coming out of HGT. Tusky's got the right response rather. Oh, my. Mr. Moo, the dream start for a Shadow Fiend, and I think a lot of people out there going, oh, for sweet Jesus, why is Moo not in my fantasy draft? I'm pretty sure that I took Rabbit and June as the 2 cores for Newbee. God damn it. Oh, my. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just underestimating what the Shadow Fiend can do early on. That's the tree walking. They're like, all right, Leech Seed does a lot of damage. It heals you a little bit. And Moo going, it doesn't heal you enough, sucker. Jesus. Well, how do you win this lane now if you are a sniper? Air 9-4. Moo now 10-5. CS looking fairly even, but Air could be in trouble once again. They're lining up the Shadow Races with the Magic Missile. Only one connects. Now Banana, he'll take a Leech Seed to the face. That'll slow him down. He backs it on up, and he'll be okay. But now keeping somebody nearby. Whoa, Witch Doctor. He's in some trouble getting chased down by June. This could be a kill for the Faceless Void, but no, can't close the gap in time. And ZSMJ will push him back. June could actually end up going down here. ZSMJ only level 3, but finds the overload. Knocks off the healing salve, but a time walk is available. June, he'll need some big jukes here. Can he find the ukes? He's got a TP scroll. Moves into the side here. Oh, is there a vortex? There isn't. He TPs out and he lives. Nicely played. A close call, but he will live as Rabbit, Banana, tries to rotate back down. Wow, this Storm getting a lot of space here in this bottom lane. He's the only one on HGT that is farming well. Everyone else, not quite in Strug City, but not up to snuff, I think you could certainly say. So Moo having a field day at this point. Him and the Juggernaut both having a pretty good time. The CS leaders behind that of ZSMJ. You look at the other farmers, and Sniper here, he's feeling the burn. 9-4. This is tough. This is one of these lanes he's going to have to recover with. Any stacks to look at? No. Might still be able to pick on these Mud Golems for a little bit of recovery farm. But now we see 2 supports from HGT rotating mid. And I think this is the right call here. They need to do anything they can to just secure farm for this Sniper. Storm, he's already won his lane. He can now solo the Void pretty easily. Sure, June will find a little bit of extra farm, but Storm will still get his. I think you can pretty much give up on trying to shut down this Juggernaut. You won't rotate to change stuff too much for a Clockwork. Westbrook happy getting experience. He's already level 5, and he's farming pretty nicely. 10-0 is more than you'd hope for an off-lane Clockwork here at the 5-minute mark. So it's all about this mid lane. Let's see what we can do with Air. There's a smoke now on to Pretty Haw. Where are you going? Which Doctor? The Doctor's in. And it looks like he may just go top, so not even supporting the mid lane. Is after I talked so much about how important it is. The tree rotates back down bottom, only level 2. Does find living armor. That can sort of help out the Sniper. Song Shung, well, he gets initiated on by the Clockwork. A little slow to grab that one. Sorry about that. But now Moo, he comes up. He's going to join the party. He's going to find Pretty Haw. Series of right clicks will be enough to take him down. Now Rabbit, he wants to chase down Westbrook. You got Phase Boots, Jug, only level 5. Westbrook, though, he is bootless right now, and there's the wraparound. You see it on the mini-map. Banana, he's on his way in. Magic Missile's there to knock off the salve. Auto attack as well. Banana finds the kill as they get a little bit of vengeance for their fallen comrade, Westbrook, now in the grave. It is Newbee coming out ahead here, a 1-for-1 in the top lane with the Venge picking up that secondary kill. Shadow, actually it's a 2-for-1, pardon me, forgot about that Witch Doctor going down. Moo now 3-0. The Shadow Fiend, he's going to be a big pop of this game, no doubt about it. Do we dare look at the gold graph, and oh sweet Jesus, 2K gold, 2K experience, already the lead here for Team Newbee. Again, it's all about this Storm Spirit. ZSMJ, what are you working on? What kind of item build are you thinking here, buddy? Powered treads, null tally, and a bottle. Nothing else for now, but I think the Orchid probably where he's going to go this game. Could go Bloodstone first, but I think they want the Orchid. I think they need the mobility, or not mobility, rather, the kind of snowball type item, the tempo controlling item. Use it to pressure the Shadow Fiend, but pressure the Jug. Jug may go Manta style. You might be able to force the Shadow Fiend into a faster BKB than he otherwise would pick up, and I think that could be a victory as well. Maybe slow down a potential blink timing. We'll see. Regardless of what items the SMJ goes for, though, he needs to make it happen. He needs to farm. He's the guy that will start to gain some momentum for his team once we get out of this laning stage. Just pick up a Sage's Mask, still pretty ambiguous. Could be the beginning of an Oblivion Staff, or could be the beginning of that Soul Ring. June, almost level 6. Whoops, drinking coffee here. Missing Clockwork, kills up in the top lane. Vengeful Spirit's going to go down, but Westbrook will pay for it. And again, the Shadow Feed rotates over. I feel like every rotation Moo has made this game has just been value town. He's gotten to stand mid. They feed him a double kill. He kind of just rotates up here into this little corridor, finds a free Witch Doctor, and again, rotates into that little spot while he's farming the jungle, finds a kill on the Clockwork, and happy to trade 1-for-1 in that context. He's got his Yules on the way, so it will be a turbo farming Shadow Fiend here. Now Kaka in some trouble. Omni Slash has already been used by Rabbit on cooldown for another 10. But coming up pretty soon, despite being low on mana, he's getting a lot of farm up here in this top lane. Looks like his Mask of Madness has been completed, and a Clarity Potion on the way for Mr. Rabbit here. 1-0 and 2 have been a great game for the Jug so far as well, and Jug Shadow Fiend getting this kind of a start. These are heroes you want to be a little bit nervous of, wary of, if you will. On top of their amazing farm, the Roshan control. Certainly a big deal for the Dire side. Looks like Storm will go for that Soul Ring first item, so maybe it will be that Bloodstone to come out first. Another snowbally kind of item will still put some pressure on his ZSMJ to find some kills, at the very least, to not die after picking up that Bloodstone and make sure he does manage his charges properly. Void now level 6, maybe ready to move around and drop the Chronosphere. Kaka is taking over this off lane just to find a little bit of XP here on the Treant Protector. He is rather broke so far, just to smoke brown boots as he tries to leech from the hard camp here. Looks like a nice triple stack that's been built up. Is that even a 4 stack, actually? Is that a little Dark Troll that I see in there? No, it's not. Just a couple of Wild Wings, maybe some of those tomatoes and potatoes. Powered Treads up on the Sniper, pretty hot. Only level 4 on the Witch Doctor. I feel like that is a growing disparity here. Newbie support's getting slightly more experience. We'll see up top, Song Shung, Speak of the Devil, isolated by the Clockwork. Didn't even need a hook shot to make this one happen. Just walks up, finds the cogs on the Ancient Apparition. It'll be another kill for Westbrook. 3, 2, and 0 on him. Back to the bottom lane. A little too slow. Storm Spirit gets ganked up, and man, I need some more caffeine today. Missing too many kills here left and right. Another rotation, though, from Moo, and it does yield yet another kill on that high-value Storm Spirit. Looks like they did use the Chronosphere to make it happen. Now they'll just transition into the Tier 1 tower push in the bottom lane. TP back towards the mid lane will be the Ancient Apparition, just trying to leech XP to get his level 6 anywhere that he can. Successful gank down bottom will yield a tower kill for Newbee, and that extends the gold graph in their favor that much more, now upwards of about 3K, as Vengeful Spirit actually finds the last hit on the tower. Dire carries continuing to get bigger and badder. HGT carries still looking a little bit like supports. Air not doing much besides assassinating Song Shung mid, but won't be able to zone him out to stop his level 6 from coming onto the field. Now snowballs will be able to be lobbed across, and that sets up kill potential with June. You need those Ice Blasts to find kill potential in the Chrono. He went for the mobility build here, max time walk. Not the most kill potential, but still lets him do quite a bit of damage. Rabbit already at that point where he is not easy to deal with. Omni Slash with a Mask of Madness is pretty much a free kill on anyone. Maybe the Treant can tank some of it if he doesn't have a Nature's Guise right away. He's pretty much dead meat and will be chopped down by the Juggernaut. Westbrook, level 7, hook shot available, ready to move around and start making some plays happen. Looks like mid lane, maybe where that happens. They've got a couple of ancient stacks here. Looks like just a double stack for now. And this will be a blade mail coming out for the clockwork. Great first item there. We'll sit on brown boots for now. But both offlaners starting to get a little more active, although the Void has certainly been more quiet. 0, 0, and 1. Now moving into the jungle. Probably looking for his Mask of Madness as well, especially if they want to find some solo pick-off potential. Utilizing that Ice Blast, the Mask of Madness will be that key damage item here for the Faceless Void. Yule Scepter. It's up on the Shadow Fiend, and now Moo. He can afford to farm pretty much wherever he wants, can spam out races in the lanes. If there's nobody in the jungle, he can move in there and farm to his heart's desire. So that SMJ down bottom, still finding quite a bit of farm himself, and still the last hit leader on his team by a big margin. You see a ping up top onto Kaka. Oh, Rabbit maybe got a glimpse of him. Looks like he will just move into a Yasha. Very standard Juggernaut build here, but standard for good reason. Kind of tried and true in this meta, and hard to deal with no matter who you are. Now in the mid lane, tower under some pressure. Glyph will come out on the high ground. Westbrook looking to line up the hook shot here. Pretty Hall on his way in as well. Only level 5. No Death Ward, but Yules comes out onto the Shadow Fiend. Ice Blast as well. There's your Chrono on 2. They still bring down the Shadow Fiend first. That's the end of his spree. And Westbrook will be the one to pick it up. Now Kaka comes in. Overgrowth is there. Rabbit will Blade Fury out. June takes an Assassinate. Dies to the Sniper. Auto attacks are enough. Now the cask will bounce around. Goes back to Banana. They'll peel him and put him in a Sunday. It's a 3-0 as Newbee on the back foot will not find the tower and will not find the fight they're looking for. HGT strike back with something fierce. Now ZSMJ zip over the tree line. Wants Rabbit and may find him here. The Coconut again bouncing around. Will head back to the creeps, but it doesn't even matter. They get the kill on Rabbit before he can Omni or do anything about it. Make it a 4-0 in the mid lane. They've got the sustainability from your Voodoo Restoration, a little Poodoo out on the field. And now Kaka leading the charge, level 8 with a maxed out living armor. Will tank up this tower, and his team will bring it down. Deny from Banana, not happening. ZSMJ will pick up the last hit on the tower with his double damage rune. Disjoints that magic missile, and they'll be all right. HGT all of a sudden erupt with an explosion of momentum. Looked like Newbee may just run away with it with a solid 4K net worth and experience lead, but just like that, the flip of a switch, HGT strike on back and actually find themselves in the lead for the first time this game. Team fights like that are all it takes to reclaim some of that early momentum. The beginnings of the rubber band can be felt here, folks. Rest assured, HGT still in it to win it. Now Arcane Boots out on the tree and Protector. Westbrook completes his Blade Mail. A couple of key items there. Air, Speak of the Devil. He's got a Mask of Madness on the way out. That's a step in the right direction after that unfortunate start with the Shadow Fiend. And now progression towards the Bloodstone for ZSMJ. Point booster, 1,100 gold, and that Soul Ring up. He came in, played a little bit of cleanup at the end of that last fight. 0, 1, and 3. That's the way you want to do it. Moo looks like he's got his BKB coming out, but Newbee, you have to be a little more careful with that, the way they initiate. You can't really have that Shadow Fiend so far out in front. They took that fight in a very awkward way where there was a Chrono on one side, Jug on the other. Whoa, hook shot up top. Westbrook connects on a creep. Rabbit loses a little bit of mana, gets hit by the cogs. He does have an ultimate here. Level 2 Omni Slash ready to rock and roll. June with a huge ult on 3. Song Shun with an ult on 3 as well. And now Rabbit goes in, drops the Omni. They get Pretty Hall, but it'll cost them their Faceless Void. Still not really a great fight for Newbee. Now the long range hit from ZSMJ going on the Ancient Apparition. One more auto attack, finds the kill. 1 for 2. It's Newbee coming out on the back foot again. We'll see if the Shadow Fiend can find any kind of recovery. Moo with the invisibility rune on. Wants to find a Spirit Bomb-like play with the level 2 Requiem, but can't quite get close enough to anyone. Maybe Westbrook will venture his Rattle Trap face a bit far forward, but no. Hides behind the tree line and will be safe from the wrath of the Shadow Fiend. Hearts get together, ladies and gentlemen. Well, at least a slightly better Chronosphere that go-around did set up for the Ice Blast to connect on all 3 heroes. Much better than the one in mid where you've got a Chrono over here, you've got a Void stuck in cogs over here, then a Jug over here who's just kind of chopping the creeps. Nobody really focusing on anything. I think Newbee still have a pretty solid lineup here. This was one of the issues with that Jug after the Void is not the most synergy across these two heroes, not the least amount either. But they do have to be very coordinated with these team fights, and you have to make these Chronos count. Song Shung hoping to have an Aghanim Scepter at some point this game, but so far, not looking so likely. Lowest on net worth, and This could help change things around. Now Roshan under assault with the Juggernaut tanking up. They've got the healing ward here. Makes it pretty easy. Hook shot from Westbrook is available. Scouts it out with the rocket flare, but Roche will fall. Aegis of the Immortal goes to the Juggernaut. Now Rabbit will find himself with a second life. So Newbee may fall down, but they find an objective to kind of strike back here. How about the bottom line of their team, and Moo will make a lot of progress towards his BKB. Ogre Club, 2,100 gold, not so far away. Kaka, what are you working on, my man? He's got himself an Ogre Club. Could he be looking at an Aghanim's tree? I'm not sure what else this could be. Maybe a Halberd, maybe a BKB, but the Aghanims, well, feels a little more scary than all those items. We've seen what the Aghanims can do on tree and just how ridiculous that can be if you can get it out at a decent timing here. Kaka not getting a huge amount of farm priority. I think Ags on the Witch Doctor may actually be a higher priority here. Just to buff up that Death Ward, a great team fighting tool, and just a regular overgrowth will be more than sufficient for an upgraded Death Ward to really wreak havoc on the opposition. Full Bloodstone on the way for the Storm Spirit here. 17 minutes in, not the best timing for ZSMJ, but certainly acceptable. And we'll start to rack up those Bloodstone charges. They can take another fight. And it looks like that may come sooner rather than later. HGT grouped up about their top tier 1 tower. Newbee making rotations as if they do want to start to pressure it. But they will just clear out their jungle for now. You got Moo on one side, clearing out the neutrals. June on the other, using that Morbid Mask. Is it a Mask of Madness on the way? Yes, sirree, Bob. 3 Mask of Madness. No, is that 4 moms this game? Let's see. 2 on the Dire, only 1 on the Radiant. Okay. No Mask of Madness on your Clockwork here, but 1 on the Sniper, 1 on the Jug, and 1 on the Shadow, or on the Void. Never mind. Yeah, not on the Shadow Fiend. That's what I was trying to get at here. Much less common on him these days. The Yule Scepter is kind of a sufficient farming tool. Smoke will be used by the Dire side. Newbee rotate is 4, and looks like they'll head down to the Radiant Jungle. Moo will be in kind of the caboose here as he's not smoked up. ZSMJ lacking on vision, but oh, it's a whiffed Chronosphere. He's got enough vision to make that one happen. That's a little embarrassing coming out of Junebug right there. They've got a ward in the jungle, so they had pretty good intel as to where the Storm Spirit was, what he was up to. But a little slow on the uptake, and June will let him get away with his ultimate on cooldown for another 2 minutes here. It's still level 1. Man, that really hurts. Now up top, Rabbit. Now gets scouted out here, but will Mask of Madness away. Goes for the S and Y. A little bit surprising here, to be honest. You've got the Blade Fury to deal with the overgrowth, so maybe feeling like the Manta style, just a little bit of overkill, but I think the Storm Spirit will still be looking for an Orchid this game. Very likely. We've seen a lot of Storms go for this Bloodstone into Orchid type build when you don't need a BKB in your first 2 items. And if that's the case, Rabbit could be wishing that he turns it to turn this into a Manta sooner rather than later. S&Y still a great value item for these little early skirmishes, though. Ice Blast will fly up top, does not connect as air finishes off that tier 1 tower. Sniping getting bigger, badder, bolder than ever before. A level 11. And going for that max take aim build. 4-1-4 seems to be a pretty standard build these days. Just sit in the back, rain down the damage. Probably a Maelstrom coming for him with that. Yep, there you go. Mithril Hammer, recipe picked up to go with the Gloves of Haste. Mid lane, hook shot from Westbrook, right onto Moo. He'll use the BKB, channels the Requiem, but it does nothing. Oh my, he just tanks a full Death Ward, and it's the end of it. Easiest defense, HGT will find this game. Now ZSMJ comes zipping across the map, wants to catch one. Won't find him, but an easy hold. And another pick on the Shadow Fiend. My, Moo had such an amazing start this game. Still 4-2-1. Not a bad record by any means, but it seems like he hasn't been able to get anything done. That's your 10-second BKB debut. And Newbee just don't have this same level of team synergy. You see these little fights where, okay, we'll see Rabbit use his Omni Slash there for a freebie on the Pretty Hall, but you see the Shadow Fiend runs up into the tower. All right, I'm ready to fight, and the rest of his team is kind of nearby, but clearly not ready to fight. It's just a quick pick on the Shadow Fiend. Newbee really need to be a lot more tight with just their general shot calling. HGT, they either defend or they don't. They push or they don't. They seem to have a much more clear game plan and a much more clear in-game shot caller. And probably in that ZSMJ, when he makes the call, you follow. If you defend as a team. If you push as a team, and Newbee just aren't doing that. Maybe waiting for June to get some more core items here. He does have Gloves of Haste, maybe thinking about a Maelstrom of his own so that he can do some pretty big damage inside the Chrono, have some kill potential. Pretty Haw. Oh, Sentry Ward comes down. June, he's got the Chrono. They will connect with an Ice Blast. This should be an easy pick onto Kaka, and it will. June gets credit for that one. Fast trigger finger onto the Chronosphere, and, well, maybe not ideal to use it just for a solo treant, but a kill's a kill. And that'll deter him from invading into their jungle and just maybe make him think twice that they're not afraid to put those Sentry Wards down if they do catch wind of him. Now, there is an Observer still in the jungle, and this Sentry just close enough that it'll give Newbee that false sense of security where they feel like their jungle is safe. But there is an Observer Ward giving the Radiant a lot of good intel as to what's going on, who's farming what. And they know Frosty here is farming out some Mud Golems. June up top, jumped on by ZSMJ. This will be a solo pick-off for the Storm Spirit. Easy pickings there. He'll go into a Shiva's Guard coming up next, it looks like, with that plate mail already in tow as he gets another one up on the scoreboard. 11-10, and the gold graph pinging and ponging all over that 0-0 mark, both sides. Pretty even right now as it's just been solo pickoff after solo pickoff. Both sets of cores picking on the supports at this point, but haven't seen a huge cataclysmic team fight. Westbrook will tank up that Omni Slash. Now Power Cogs come out. There will be a Blade Fury to follow up, and the Ice Blast, well, may have connected there, but doesn't even matter. Rabbit finds a freebie on the Clockwork, and yet again, it's a carry finding a solo kill. That one will end a killing spree, though. So Rabbit finds level 16 off of it, and will feel pretty damn good about his bottom line. Now #1 on net worth has actually surpassed that of the Shadow Fiend. They're 1 and 2 with the Sniper and Storm Spirit nipping at their heels. Kaka still pulling up gold. No progress on whatever it is he's working on since that Ogre Club. And whoa, down bottom, Rabbit just walks straight into the Witch Doctor. Looks like that was just a freebie. Chases him down in the mid lane. Spirit Bomb onto Kaka, but no! Moo caught by the ulti. Will BKB to get out of it. Now channels the Requiem. Kaka may still die here, and he will. They've got the vision. Now ZSMJ zipping on in. Will zip out. Assassinate flies through. Banana barely lives. And it looks like Rabbit just going to try to jump on this Clockwork as soon as he comes in. He will. Point-blank hook shot onto Rabbit, but now Westbrook on the back foot. Arrow will get clipped by the Ice Blast. Can they force out the Shatter? They can. June gets the kill. Now ZSMJ stuck up in the Yules. Do they have any kind of crown controls to find a kill? They don't. He'll walk away, but it's still a 2-for-0. They kill the Sniper, and finally Newbee commit to a fight that actually gives them some momentum here. They take 2 heroes down. They get a tower kill with the last hit going to the Jug, and find a pretty positive net worth gain here. They also count the Tramp Protector in that fight, so really a 3-for-0, I suppose. They do have to burn another Sentry Ward that was taken out, but worth it to find the kill there. Another BKB charge down for Moo, however. That will be his 9-second charge. Definitely not the best use of it. Roche right around the corner as well. Just about 15 seconds. Could end up being a great time for Newbee if they scout it out. Will be a very fast Roche respawn here. Just about 30 seconds past that initial timer. Okay, so what's the play for HGT here? Pulling into the lead, but Newbee back to where they started about 15 minutes ago in this game. Lead of about 4,000 net worth, 4,000 XP. Ooh, full duration Observer Ward comes down in range of this Sentry as this one's about to expire. The creeps do the dirty work for the Dire side and bring it down. That's just unfortunate for that Treant. That is sad here for Kaka. How's Pretty Haw doing? 1-4-4. He was my value pickup in my draft. Come on, Pretty Haw. You can do it. Get some assists, buddy. I believe in you. Look at this aggressive warding coming out from Newbee here. They've got a lane ward that's about to expire. They'll block out this camp, get some vision in the corridor. They've got high ground vision here coming into Roche. And then they've also got a lane ward in the mid just to give some intel in that area of the map. Now Newbee moving to the Roche pit. They will realize it's a pretty quick respawn. It looks like this baby's going down uncontested. Scouted out by a Rocket Flare, but Roche just falls too damn fast to this Juggernaut, who does now have a full BKB. This go around, it will be the Aegis of the Immortal going to the Shadow Fiend. Rabbit, what's he doing here? He's got the Blink Dagger as well, thinking about an Omni Slash, but Clockwork will get in his way. Connects with the point-blank hook shot, and that will repel the Jug. Top lane, though, Moo, he gets jumped on. This could be the end of his Aegis. Nope, uses the BKB, doesn't go for ZSMJ, instead looks for a Spirit Bomb on the Kaka. One hit, one kill. That's what I'm talking about, is the Shadow Fiend finds a freebie himself. Does have to eat another BKB charge, now down to 7 seconds, but well worth it. Rabbit, with his Mask of Madness, Boots of Speed on, he's ready to find a kill. Wants the Sniper with his Omni Slash, but a nice heads-up play there from Air. Will TP to safety and stay alive, at least for now. Now Newbee group up in the top lane. Only one Tier 1 tower remaining for HGT, and it looks like it won't be remaining for long. Rabbit will cut the creep wave. The rest of his team will just push into this tower. This is a Radiant Courier hanging out nearby here. That's a Shiva's Guard recipe. A couple hundred gold, and the item will be completed for ZSMJ on this Storm Spirit. Glyph and Living Armor will delay the push from Newbee, but it looks like that's about all. Still plenty of right clicks just to chop through it here. Blink Dagger on the Juggernaut, not an item you see too often, but a good one. We see it just enough to know how potent it can be. You can use it during the Omni Slash, so you can find one kill, then hop across, maybe set up for another. You can initiate from afar, and maybe an even more potent item now that they did nerf the cast range maybe 2 patches ago. Not by a huge amount, but enough that it's a little bit harder to find that jump that you're looking for. Here we go, right onto Pretty Haw. He's looking pretty dead. But now Westbrook with a hook shot in, finds Rabbit. He will BKB to turn and chop through the Blade Mail. Ice Blast comes in, will just connect onto Kaka, but Rabbit needs to be a little careful here, force the Blade Fury away. June with another whiffed Chrono. Oh my banana. He's going to get left behind in June. He runs in, drops the Chrono, goes, oh, biscuits, I missed it, and then he can't even make the escape. ZSMJ with a double kill on the Storm Spirit. This guy's balling. He's getting a bit out of control here. Shiva's Guard now completed. 11 charges on the Bloodstone. 4, 1, and 3. Talk about your all-time cleanup. He's got the mop and bucket. He doubles as a janitor on the side as he's continually taking out the trash. June, you got to stop whiffing these Chronos, my man. That's like Chrono number 3 in game number 1 that he's missed. This is going to be a long series. I like it, but it's rough. Oh, my. 16-13. And just as Newbee start to grab a large lead, HGT will regain a little bit of lost footing, at least plateau things for now. It is getting a bit more serious, 7,500 golden XP, the favor for the Dire side. So even though they keep making these really goofy plays where they dive in too deep and they throw away kills and just do things that are overall a little unnecessary, they're still farming very, very well and continuing to hold the top farming slots on their team. BKB down to 7 seconds on Moo, but he's got himself a butterfly now. So Aegis of the Immortal will probably end up expiring. He still finds good use of it. And a full butterfly is certainly something that HGT not quite ready to deal with. No Hex, no MKB. This is some great effective HP here for Moo. Looks like Newbee do want to group up again, though. ZSMJ, there's a smoke rotation. Not the hero you want to Omni Slash, though, unless he's out of mana or you've got a Chronosphere. But Pretty Haw, on the other hand, oh no, go nice on him. Oh, he's pretty dead again. Well, there you go. Rabbit finds another freebie. Picking on the supports, that's one way to do it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Kaka, 1,300 gold, maybe is pulling up for an Aghanims after all.
Attack.
Little split push in here. Newbee, they take out the Tier 2 in the bottom lane. Tier 2 up top will be safe for now. Kaka, does he get punished for this? He's farming. They find him. June, he drops a Chronosphere. Is the follow-up damage there? It is. He's got a couple of bashes and the right clicks to find the kill. Easy pickings there. Even June, the master of the whiffs this game, still hitting hard. He went back for a Hand of Midas, now has the Mithril Hammer, so he's got a lot of attack speed and can actually do quite a bit of damage in those Chronospheres. Nicely done. Newbee will end up getting a free Tier 2 tower out of it, and their team looking pretty good. Air, he's got a Blink Dagger now on the Sniper. Lots of mobility tools this game. Now a Blink Dagger on the Shadow Fiend. It's weird how similar these builds are. You've got Blinks, Mask of Madnesses on both sides. Looks like Maelstroms coming out aplenty. An interesting array of items here, but no doubt about it, it is Newbee that's continuing to find more item progression, holding on to this big chunky lead here. How's Song Shung doing? not making any progress towards the Aghanim Scepter. Has a Ghost Scepter right now, so Scepters nonetheless. What am I going to do with all these Scepters? But I think a smart choice here. If he gets jumped on by the Sniper, great against the Witch Doctor, who does all that physical damage. Mid lane, Kaka, there's your Blink Dagger from Rabbit, finds a bash, brings him down. Now Pretty Hall, he might get bashed up too. Omni Slash, well, that's not going to be the best use of that cooldown, but it's okay. He gets 2 kills anyway. Now Cobbs come out. Westbrook, he's going to have to dance with Rabbit, and it takes more than 2 to tango. Now Moo, Spirit Bomb coming out on the Sniper. Air, dead as can be. They get the kill on the Jug, but now Moo trying to follow up. Can he actually find the kill? ZS on MJ, low on mana, won't even need it to zip out. He'll survive, and Westbrook will limp away also. A 2 for 3 in the mid lane, and Newbee didn't even have their entire team. Their Avenge was like, I don't need to help out. Same from the Void. He has a BKB Chronosphere coming up, and he's just farming while his team is fighting. I like his style, but could have been maybe more successful for Newbee there if it was actually more of a team fight rather than just a series of pickoffs. The Jug starts it off with 2 dead supports, and then Moo just pops that Sniper. Bada boom, bada bing. Easy as that. So still a good little trade there, and I guess any pick on the Sniper at this stage is good news. You're making space for your cores, and this is where Newbee just has superior late game. You've got these 3 primary cores farming away. June definitely transitioning to more of a carry instead of like a dedicated offlaner that he started as. You look at HGT, and yeah, your big cores, your Storm Spirit, your Sniper, they're farming decently. At least putting up a good fight for the top 2, but it starts to fall off when you look at this clockwork. You may say, well, only 1,000 net worth behind the Void, but yeah, he doesn't offer nearly as much carry power, and he'll also be out-farmed. The Hand of Midas on the Void, the thing that really tips the scales. It was an interesting call from June. He had the early Gloves of Haste and even picked up the early Mithril Hammer. Thought he was just going to rush the Maelstrom, but instead went back for the Midas and then opted to get the BKB instead, which he has just now recently completed, still sitting at that 10-second charge. I like the change of pace, and it also does kind of fake out your opponents. Makes you think, well, okay, he's not going BKB. Maybe we can pick on this Void a little bit, and lo and behold, he goes for this more right carry-based build, and will now be a little bit more difficult to shut down as a result. Ice Blast flies up top and will be off the mark. No follow-up there. I don't think there was really much follow-up destined to be found after that anyhow, but we'll push him back. Roche up in just about 2.5 minutes. It's a lengthy respawn this go-around. Close to that max timer. Storm doing a much different item trajectory than what we've seen on your Storms commonly. Looks like getting a little lag here. He went Bloodstone into Shiva's and now has a completed Scythe of Ice. Great pickup for HGT. And are we going to go into Slideshow Dota? Really? Really? All right, let's reconnect. I guess that's what we're going to do here. Are we going to miss a team fight? Looks like we quite possibly could. I'm a little bit nervous. All right, HGT, yeah, go back to your jungle. And let's see if we can just reconnect. Wind Ranger. I still hate this load screen. It's like they're smoked up, and then she pops out of the smoke, and you're blinded by the wart on her nose. Why would you give Wind Ranger a wart? I think it's supposed to be a ring, but it just looks like she's got a growth. I just give her the phone number for my dermatologist. All right, we're back. Looks like the lag has been dealt with. Shadow Fiend, man, 320 last hits. He is farming like a madman. Whoa. You scream it out, Benj. Let him know. All right, Rabbit. He's getting big, though. Skull Basher up now, 2,100 gold. We'll have the Abyssal Blade coming out pretty soon. Incoming. Things kind of stalemated for now. Rocket Flare scouts out the movements of the Dire. Moo. Uh-oh, leading the charge here. Who does he find? It's a Treant Protector. Spirit Bomb, not going to happen, though. He'll get hexed up before he can BKB. Hook shot in. Will connect on the Storm Spirit, actually. Kaka caught inside of the Chrono. He will just focus pretty hard. Juggernaut brings down the Sniper off to the side, and it's a bloody disaster for the Radiant side. Westbrook, one of the lone survivors, will try to force staff away, but they're going to chase him down to oblivion. Now he gets slowed down by that Icy Vortex, and nowhere for him to go. Rabbit blinks in, and that's going to make it a 4-0. Newbee finding the superior team fight, and finally the Chronosphere they've been waiting for to lock him in place. Sniper was on the run, but the Jug chased him down, And as soon as they can find a fight like that where they lock down the team with Chrono, the sniper's not sitting in the back line doing the damage, it's an easy team fight. All about closing that gap on the little dwarf there. Ho-ho, ha-ha, from the grave is not nearly as scary. Now 1 outer tower remaining for the Radiant, soon to be relegated to rubble. There is a glyph standing here, but HGT may not want to use it. Newbee could look for a play at the high ground. If so, they will still be spread around the map. June pushing the bottom lane. And Shadow Fiend gets that tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Nothing but high ground left for HGT. As Newbee look towards the Roshan pit, where Roche 3, the big boy, he's respawned. So Aegis and Cheese for the claiming move. He's now got about 5,000 gold. And almost abyssal time here for Rabbit. Okay, well, that was easy. Uh-oh, nice BKB there, Moo. Close one. So Aegis goes to the Shadow Fiend, and Cheese will go to Frosty. Well, that's another objective claimed for Newbee, and on the way by, Rabbit just picks up his Abyssal Blade. So now stuns will be raining down from the heavens. They've got tools to cut through Black King bars, and everything just gets a little bit easier. ZSMJ still with a lot of momentum. I feel like he is the saving grace for HGT right now. Without him, this would be even worse. 14k gold, about 16k experience is the lead for Newbee right now. June finds air. Chrono sets up for the Ice Blast. It's the Faceless Void coming out big as the Dwarven Sniper gets his beard caught in a lawnmower, gets brought down again. Shadow Blade, Faceless Void paying some dividends here as he finds the jump on the Dwarf. Now the siege towards the high ground begins. Kaka, he's split pushing the side lanes, but look at this. Moo going for a full Hex on the Shadow Fiend. A fun item. You don't get to see this too often, but it does pop out on occasion. Always good to have disables on your carries. Now you've got a Hex on the Shadow Fiend and an Abyssal on the Jug. Anybody that gets jumped here, anyone that's too far forward, will be in trouble. There is a glyph for the high ground, but just look how much damage they do to this tier 3 tower. It's gone down before Kaka even makes it towards the base. Glyph comes out at a less than ideal time. Does stop some damage on the barracks. There's not even any creeps at the high ground right now. It's just Moo lobbing in the spirits. Westbrook trying to do what he can, thinking about an initiation, but walks too far forward, gets hexed up. It's a feed. Juggernaut, he picks up the kill. It will use his BKB, but doesn't matter. Sniper still in the grave, did not have a buyback that entire time. They get the melee barracks, and they will just retreat. Newbee still with Aegis and Cheese, even get a freebie out of it. Doesn't get too much sweeter than that. I think, honestly, they could just rotate down to the bottom lane and try and make this happen again. No reason not to. They've got HGT locked in the base. They don't have a Chronosphere. That is true, but it's coming up in about 30 seconds, and with Aegis Cheese, I think they more than make up for it.
Turn back the clock.
Oh, maybe they'll just clear out the jungle instead. Newbee have the luxury of time right now. They know they're pretty far ahead. They've got the late game carry advantage. They've got the tools, and most importantly now they've got the map control. You've got aggressive wards down in the Radiant jungle, one up on the high ground here so you can see if someone walks towards the Ancients. They'll know when HGT leave their base. And with that said, they can just farm out the lanes, clear their jungle, clear out the Radiant jungle, and just look for a pick-off before trying to siege the high ground. Everything gets a lot easier when you've got a Pico power play. And that's what Newbee are looking for. Air goes right back into his Ancients here. He does have a full MKB now, so at least with the Hex and the MKB on the Sniper, they do have a chance at killing this Shadow Fiend through his Butterfly. Only about 2 minutes left on the Aegis, so Moo, trying to make the most of it, will start to look towards the high ground. Hex onto Westbrook. Rabbit jumps in. BKB Abyssal from the skies, and it's a dead clockwork again. Westbrook, you got to be more careful than that, my man. Getting way too close to the opposition that now have ways to punish that kind of positioning. Big damage on this tier 3 tower. Moo is still a minute and a half left on the Aegis. He'll be okay. If he goes down here, he'll still stay in the front lines. Witch Doctor not respecting the reach of the Venge. Gets swapped out and brought down. Now Air caught by a Chrono from June. Ice Blast will follow up. Easy kill there. Now Kaka could be in some trouble. Aegis of the Immortal will be utilized, but Shadow Fiend coming back up. Meanwhile, the Void going ham all over this Radiant side. Westbrook, he's bought back. It's a dieback for him. Now stuck in the grave for 70. HGT have had enough, and their drafter and leader, ZSMJ, will call it. Jumps in, will get chopped up as he's turned into a piggy. It's Newbee that take game number 1 A back-and-forth matchup, certainly not without its errors. A couple of whiffed chrono spheres, a couple of strange fights and engagements, but Newbee will take game number 1 in rather dominant fashion. Good game, well played, and I should have taken ZSMJ on my fantasy draft because he seemed to be value town to me. 12-2-4 Rabbit. What a game for him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is just game number 1 of the evening. We've got 2 full best-of-3s coming up tonight. Game 2 of Newbee versus HGT will be coming right around the corner. I'm Zyori, slated to solo cast tonight. Grab yourself some coffee, some beer, whatever is appropriate for your time in the world, and come on back, because we've got a lot more Dota 2 action coming up after this.
I was actually one of the first people to sign up